smokers who have successfully quit are likely to have tried on a number of occasions. It's not unusual to have to make perhaps 6 or more attempts before people finally quit. So the message there is that if you have tried to quit before and you've relapsed, well, try to get back on track again as quickly as possible. The other thing, of course, is it's very important to try and pick a time when you're not under too much stress, when there's support around you, and for example, there are specific dates, you know, and the New Year is obviously one of those days when people, you know, try to quit and would probably have more support. So, but it's important to try and set a date and think about the reasons you want to quit. For example, better health, having more money in your pocket at the end of the year. I think you need to have a plan, and most important of all perhaps is that you need to be motivated. You need some level of internal motivation, and smokers who get help or support in one way or another do better than those who don't. Now, we all know people who quit overnight and never smoke again, but they are the exception. Most people have to make multiple attempts. In terms of planning, one of the things you need to think about is, well, if you relapsed before, why, what factors? Try and think about that and how you might go about sorting that. Get rid of as much paraphernalia around the house that, you know, remind you of tobacco, ashtrays and all that sort of stuff. And there may actually be, for example, people's company that, you know, you might be better off dispensing with, because it's an occasion when people can just suddenly have one cigarette and they're back smoking again. There are, for example, e-cigarettes that people talk about a lot. I think they can help people quit, but they are not without risk. We do not know the long-term consequences of vaping, and indeed there are some suggestions that they may cause some harm. The other more traditional methods are, for example, traditional nicotine replacement, which you can get in your pharmacy. Comes in different forms, lozenges, inhaled nicotine, and other forms of nicotine. Then you have, for example, a drug called Varenicline, which is the single most important, most effective means of quitting. The one difficulty there is that you need a doctor's prescription, and that tends to put some people off. You need to be motivated in the first place, because if you're not sufficiently motivated, no matter what means you use, you know, the likelihood is that you won't succeed. But for example, the HSE runs a really good service in supporting people who are using all methods, including e-cigarettes, to quit. And they have a community now online, a community of people who are trying to quit or who have quit. Even with one of those supports, you double your chances of quitting successfully.